Hey there folks, watch this video, and yet again we're going to sit down and look at some new content for the EA Sports WRC title. I've sat down with a notepad and we're going to go through this gameplay video, not necessarily frame by frame because I don't want to be spending more than 10 minutes on it. It's a 10-minute video. If you're really interested in the game, you should check it out for yourself. It's linked in the description below. But there are a couple of bits that I wanted to point out. Firstly, as we can see from the start of it, with John Armstrong having been driving it, they're showing off this new season system. So we get Estonia in the snow, but also in the rain and the dry. And I couldn't really tell what the difference was in terms of how it was driving, because we don't see how John is changing the wheel inputs. I personally would only be able to do that if I had the hand on to it, but it looks like John's a bit more aggressive in the snow when it comes to turning in. Though this is also a Rally 2 car, it could be different for the Rally 3s and the Rally 1s, and we don't know what tyres he's on. It's probably that it's gravel tyres for all of the different surfaces, and that's why we've got what we've got there. Jumping forward to about a minute and a half into the video, and you see the transition onto tarmac, and this is something that's really cool, because there are some stages where you will have this happening. In fact, for example, WRC Portugal is a rally that's quite famed for it, as you also see the transition off as the conditions change as well. And what you get from that is, well, you don't wear out the gravel for the start, and you don't get rutted roads. With Portugal, the roads can rut very much off the start line, so you don't see that so much. Then a little bit afterwards, we get these little lag spikes. And this is an issue with the recording software. This is an issue on the actual video. I watched it on my mobile and I watched it on my computer just to verify that. And it might just be an issue with rendering, or it might just be there are some TV issues still with this build of the game. And then we go a bit further forward, we can have a first look at Chase Cam. And it looks like it's going to track the car center point, which is quite nice because it means that you're focused on the corner, you're focused on where the car's going, and you're not necessarily at the whims of how the car is turning around. And it reminds me a bit, with all these graphics, of Complicated Rally 3 or Complicated Rally 2. Those are the kind of games that come to mind, though I'll talk about something else to do with that a bit later on in the next bit about the Rally 1s. Speaking of the Rally 1s, we started off with some of the bits on ice for the Rally 1 hybrid car. I can't tell if there's any kind of ice tyres available, or if there's any ice on the road, or if it's just a graphical thing. But it does look really nice. And then, after a while, we see a transition through onto the dry stuff. But it's interesting to see how the hybrid works here. The graphic shows as the hybrid builds up on the centre. You can see a little bit of contact when they go to the chase cam. You don't really see any kind of damage. But it builds up, and then it shows you the threshold at which it comes out. Then, jumping forward a bit later in the video, we see what it's like in the autumn season with the leaves on the road, and it's wet. Now, I have a feeling this looks like it's more graphical things, because the wet seems to have more of an impact than any kind of the leaves. So I'd be interested to see if somebody does a comparison when the game comes out. The leaves on the road versus no leaves on the road, the dry versus the wet, to see what has an impact on it. And then as they jump forward further through the video, you can see really narrow roads, like just over single car length, which we do get in the WRC. And it's something that Codemasters have been accused of in the past. I think that's where I'm thinking Complicated Rally 2, where the roads were super, super wide. This is going to be a challenge for anybody in various different ways. Then jumping forward to the end of the video, we got some of the Rally 3s in action in Sweden. And that was really fun to see. That was a really nice insight, because we also get another co-driver voice. So we're going to have two co-drivers. I don't recognise any of those voices. I don't know if they're voice actors or if they're real-world co-drivers. But it's nice to see the John Armstrong livery, which they had teased. I think it's available as a bonus car, but I can't remember off the top of my mind, because of course John Armstrong didn't compete in JWRC this season. Now, what I'll be interested to see is, you can see the grooves in the stage, and actually get to eating, it becomes a lot more pronounced. Are we going to see the same kind of stage wear as we saw in the dirt games? Or are we just going to see, like, this is how it's going to look and the conditions will change actually how the stage is viewed. I can't tell if we're going to have stage degradation. A couple of other bits as I wrap up this video. I'm looking forward to this. I definitely am. And I'll be interested to see how it handles when I eventually get to drive in it in about a month's time. I don't feel like I can wait that long, but I'm going to have to. A couple of other bits and pieces I picked up. I know some people in the comments for the past couple of videos have been like, oh, I want to see those random moments you can get in the current WRC games in Dirt Rally 2.0. We don't see any of them. The unexpected moments could easily be in the game, and it could be a setting that's not turned on yet. It's still a game that's a month from release, so some of these issues that I've pointed out could be getting fine-tuned, and we might get more answers from it in the live streams that they do, in interviews, or any kind of press release. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.